Grace and peace to you, dear child of God. You're not here by chance. You're here on purpose. This moment was written into your story long before today. Heaven arranged it, angels guided it, and now the message your heart has been waiting for is finally here. There comes a moment when the silence breaks and what was hidden begins to surface, when emotions that have been buried under fear and pride start to rise to the surface. Like waves that can no longer be held back, you can feel it in your spirit before you see it with your eyes. Something is shifting, and this is not by accident. This is divine timing at work. For some of you watching right now, you've been praying, waiting, believing for a sign that confirms what your heart already knows. You've been patient, you've done the work, and now God is aligning what's been delayed for far too long. Their emotions are overflowing, and whether you realize it or not, that overflow is the evidence of movement. When the walls start to crack, when the tears begin to fall, when the truth finally pushes its way to the surface, that's when divine alignment begins to manifest. This is the moment you've waited for, not because everything will suddenly be perfect, but because truth is now stronger than fear. The truth of what they feel, the truth of what you deserve, and the truth that love cannot stay hidden forever. If you're hearing this today, it's not by coincidence. There's something in this message that your spirit has been craving. This is a reminder that you are not forgotten, that your prayers are not in vain, and that the delay has always had purpose. So as we step into this teaching, I want you to open your heart fully, let go of your doubts for just a moment, and listen, not only with your mind, but with your spirit, because what's about to be revealed could be the confirmation you've been waiting for. Before we go deeper, take a moment to comment below and let me know you're here. If this message already resonates with you, hit that like button right now. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel Wisdom from Above, so you never miss these deep teachings on love, healing, and divine timing. And if this word speaks to your heart and you want to pour back into this work, you can leave a super thanks below. It means the world, and it helps me keep bringing you more messages that speak directly to your spirit. Number 1. The overflow. It's a sign of release. When emotions start to overflow, it's not chaos, it's release. What you're witnessing in them right now is not weakness, it's truth trying to break free. For so long they've been carrying the weight of unspoken words and suppressed feelings. They've built walls not to keep you out, but to protect themselves from the pain they never healed from. But when divine timing begins to move, no wall can hold back what's meant to flow. The overflow you see is the proof that something inside them is breaking open, and breaking open is not the same as breaking down. It's the moment when the spirit finally says enough. Enough pretending, enough hiding, enough silence. Because love that is real cannot stay buried forever. Many of you watching this have prayed for clarity. You've asked God to show you if their love is genuine. You've wanted a sign, something undeniable, something that confirms what your soul already felt long before your mind could accept it. And now, that sign is here. But it doesn't always come wrapped in calm words and perfect timing. Sometimes it comes through tears, through tension, through emotional confession that catches you off guard, when they start to open up, when their voice shakes, and their truth spills out. Don't rush to judge it. It may not be perfect, but it's real, and real is what you've been asking for, because love is not proven by control, it's proven by surrender. And when someone begins to surrender emotionally, it means their spirit has reached a point of truth they can no longer contain. What's happening now is a divine emotional detox. Everything that's been suppressed is surfacing so that something new can be built on clean ground. This is not about drama, it's about healing. It's about God shaking loose what was stuck so that both of you can finally move forward with clarity instead of confusion. So if you're seeing emotions that scare you, if their energy feels intense, remember this: overflow is often the final step before peace. The storm doesn't mean it's over. It means the air is finally clearing. It means everything that's been hidden is coming into the light. It means truth has become stronger than fear, and when truth wins, love begins to breathe again. This is your sign not to run from the overflow, but to recognize it as a sacred release. The emotions are not the enemy. They are the evidence. They are the proof that God is doing something deeper than the surface can explain. So stay steady, stay grounded, stay open, because what's being released in them is connected to what's being restored in you. And number 2, the emotional mirror. Every time their emotions rise, something within you responds. It's not random. It's reflection. Their overflow is showing you something about your own heart, your own readiness, your own healing. You see, relationships are mirrors, and God uses them to reveal what we can't always see in ourselves. When their emotions start to pour out, it's not just about what they're feeling, it's about what's being stirred in you. Maybe you feel triggered, maybe you feel hopeful, maybe you feel confused, but what you feel in that moment is an invitation. It's an invitation to pause and ask what this moment is trying to teach you. Because the emotional intensity that's coming from them is not designed to destroy you, it's designed to awaken you. Sometimes the people we care about become vessels of reflection. They reveal the very thing we've been avoiding in our own healing. They show us where we've built walls. They show us where our patience runs thin. They show us whether our love is conditional or rooted in grace. And when their emotions start to burst open and you find yourself reacting, that reaction is information. It tells you where God is asking for growth. If their tears make you want to shut down, that's not failure, it's a mirror. If their vulnerability makes you uncomfortable, that's not rejection, it's revelation. You are being shown how deeply you can hold space for someone else, while still holding boundaries for yourself in this season. God is not only revealing their heart, He's revealing yours. He's showing you what love looks like when it's mature. Love that doesn't run from intensity but meets it with peace. Love that doesn't rescue out of fear but responds out of wisdom. Love that doesn't try to fix everything but stays grounded in faith that healing is already happening. This emotional mirror is sacred because through it you learn to love beyond ego. You learn to love without losing yourself. You learn to listen without needing to be right. And you start to understand that what triggers you is often what's trying to transform you. So don't resist the reflection. Let it teach you. Let it soften the parts of your heart that became hard from disappointment. Let it remind you that you are capable of both strength and tenderness at the same time. Because true love is not proven by how calm things are. It's proven by how much truth you can handle without shutting down. When their emotions overflow, and you can still stay centered, still stay loving, still stay aligned, you are walking in emotional maturity. That is when you begin to reflect divine love, the kind that doesn't waver when storms rise, the kind that doesn't need control because it trusts the process, the kind that sees the overflow not as chaos, but as confirmation. Number 3. The breaking point before breakthrough. There comes a moment in every divine connection when things seem to break before they build. When hearts that have been guarded for too long can no longer hide behind composure. When love starts, demanding honesty, and the masks can no longer survive under the weight of truth. This is the breaking point. But it is not destruction. It is divine preparation. When emotions begin to overflow and things start to feel unstable, that is often the moment. Right before alignment, you may think it's falling apart, but God is often allowing what is false to collapse, so what is true can finally stand. The breaking point is the birthplace of transformation, because before new wine can be poured in the old container must crack open. Some of you are watching someone wrestle with their emotions right now. They don't know how to express what they feel. They're torn between fear and truth, between pride and surrender. And you're standing there, wondering if you should hold on or walk away. But this moment is not meant to break you. It's meant to build both of you differently. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's purpose. It's God applying heat so that gold can rise to the surface. Because without the breaking, there is no purification. Without confrontation, there is no healing. And without vulnerability, there is no intimacy. The breaking point teaches you to stop chasing comfort and start chasing clarity. It teaches you that real love doesn't grow in perfect conditions. It grows when two people choose to face what's uncomfortable instead of running from it. When they finally let their hearts spill out and you feel the weight of that release, you're witnessing the moment where pretense dies and authenticity is born. And yes, it hurts. It feels messy, it feels unstable, it feels raw. But every divine connection must pass through that fire, because fire exposes what's real. It refines it, strengthens it, purifies. And what comes out of that process is not weaker, it's wiser. So if you find yourself in a breaking season, don't mistake it for abandonment. God hasn't left the room. He's just clearing the space of everything that can't go with you into the next chapter. Every tear, every confession, every emotional eruption is part of the cleansing. You are not losing love, you are losing illusions. The breaking point before breakthrough is sacred ground. It is where control dies and surrender begins. It's where two souls are stripped of performance and invited into truth. And it's the space where divine love begins to rebuild what human effort could never hold together. So breathe. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. Because when emotions overflow, they are not proof of weakness. They are proof that healing is finally winning. Number 4, the power of vulnerability. There is nothing more powerful in a relationship than the moment when someone chooses to be seen. Not the filtered version, not the strong version, but the real version. The one who trembles while speaking. The one who admits they are scared, the one who lets their emotions overflow because pretending has become too heavy. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength disguised as surrender. It is the moment when pride falls away and truth steps forward. And for many of you, this is the moment you've been praying for. You wanted to see their heart. You wanted to know if they really cared. You wanted proof that the love you felt wasn't one-sided. And now that it's here, you may feel overwhelmed. Because real emotion is never neat and tidy, but here's what you need to understand. Vulnerability is the birthplace of connection. You cannot have intimacy without it. You cannot build trust without it. And you cannot experience love that transforms without it. When someone finally opens up, they are giving you access to the part of them they swore they'd never show again. Some of you are witnessing this in someone right now. Their words may stumble, their emotions may rush like a flood, and instead of trying to fix it or calm it, your calling in that moment is simply to listen, because when you hold space for vulnerability, you become a vessel of healing. So many people pray for deep love, but run from deep honesty. We say we want connection, but we fear transparency. Because transparency requires us to confront our own discomfort. It forces us to see whether we can love someone at their most unguarded moment. God allows vulnerability because it destroys the illusion of control. It brings people back to truth. It creates an atmosphere where grace can flow, and it reminds you that love isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up when the tears come. It's about standing still when emotions rise and not shrinking away from what is real. When they open their heart to you, they are not being dramatic, they are being divine, because there is divinity in openness, there is holiness in honesty, and when you respond with compassion instead of judgment, you become a reflection of that same divine love. Vulnerability breaks cycles. It heals what words alone cannot heal. It allows both people to exhale because finally the masks are gone and truth has taken center stage. So if their emotions are overflowing, right now, don't be afraid, lean in, listen deeper, because in that moment, God is not just revealing their heart. He is revealing how ready you are to love without fear, to embrace truth without defense, to choose connection over control, the power of vulnerability is sacred. It is the place where love becomes real. Number 5, the turning point of surrender. Every story of love and transformation reaches a turning point, a moment when holding on the old way no longer works, when the heart realizes that control will never create peace. This is the place of surrender. It is where the soul stops fighting what it feels and starts trusting what it knows. Many people confuse surrender with giving up, but giving up is rooted in despair, while surrender is rooted in trust. Giving up says I quit. Surrender says I release so that something higher can take over. And for many of you watching this right now, that is exactly where God has you. You have tried to manage the outcome. You have tried to fix them, heal them, understand them. But love was never meant to be managed. It was meant to be mirrored. When emotions overflow, it is a divine signal that something deeper is happening beneath the surface. It is not chaos. It is recalibration. It is the Spirit reshaping hearts that have grown tired of pretending. Because true love is not born in control, it is born in surrender. Surrender is saying, God, I trust what you are doing, even if I don't understand it yet. It is saying, I release my grip on what I cannot change. It is saying, I choose peace over anxiety, truth over fear, love over ego. It is the decision to stop performing and start being present. Maybe they are finally breaking open. Maybe the weight of their own emotions has brought them to their knees, and you are watching them wrestle between who they were and who they are becoming. This is the sacred space of surrender. It is holy ground because it is where the human heart meets divine timing. When you surrender, you allow God to write the next line. You stop forcing what was never meant to. But you stop begging for signs because you start becoming one. Your peace becomes the proof that you trust His plan. Your stillness becomes a signal that you know you are being carried. Surrender doesn't mean silence. It means stability. It means you can stand in the middle of emotional waves and not be moved by fear. It means you can love without demanding. It means you can let go without bitterness. It means you can see their overflow and respond, not with panic, but with prayer. This is where many relationships begin to heal, because love that flows from surrender cannot be manipulated. It becomes pure, it becomes honest, it becomes anchored. You stop chasing answers and start embodying grace. So if you find yourself in a season where everything feels uncertain, where their emotions are messy and your mind is tired, take a breath and surrender. Whisper to yourself, I trust that what is meant for me will not pass me. Because surrender is not weakness. It is alignment. It is the bridge between confusion and peace. This is your turning point. This is where the healing begins. Number 6, the rebuilding. After the release, when the emotions have overflowed, when the storm has passed, when the truth has finally come out, there comes a holy silence. It is not the silence of distance. It is the silence of rebuilding. It is the pause where hearts catch their breath and souls begin to reset, because after every release there must come renewal. For so long everything between you felt heavy, words unsaid, feelings buried, tension building like pressure in a dam. And now that the overflow has happened, you may feel empty, confused, unsure of what comes next. But emptiness is not a curse, it is a canvas. It is the space where God begins to paint something new. Rebuilding is not about returning to how things were. It is about allowing what was broken to be rebuilt, stronger, wiser, cleaner. This is the season where communication becomes sacred again, where you learn to listen differently, where you speak with more clarity and less defense, where you honor each other not from fear of loss, but from awareness of value. When someone finally opens their heart, the next step is not perfection, it is patience. You do not demand instant healing, you nurture it, you water it with kindness and guard it with peace. Because just as emotions overflowed from pressure, healing overflows from gentleness. Rebuilding requires humility. It asks you to admit where pride once ruled. It asks you to apologize without making excuses. It asks you to forgive even when you still remember the pain. Because forgiveness is not denial, it is divine cooperation. It is saying, I refuse to let yesterday decide who I am becoming today. This is where you begin to create safety again, not the safety of avoidance, but the safety of truth, the kind of safety where both hearts can be honest without fear, where love becomes a partnership, not a performance. God is teaching you through this process how to build differently. He is showing you that relationships anchored in truth can survive any storm. He is showing you that emotional transparency is not the end of love. It is the foundation of it, because only when things are brought into the light can they be truly healed. So take this quiet season and treat it as sacred. Let your words be few, but full of intention. Let your actions speak louder than your promises. Let your presence become the proof of your growth. You are no longer trying to win anyone. You are building with purpose. You are creating from clarity. And as you rebuild, you will start to see something beautiful emerge, a connection that no longer lives in fear but in freedom, a love that no longer hides but honors truth. This rebuilding is not just between you and them, it is between you and God. He is teaching you that restoration is never about going back. It is about moving forward whole. So breathe in this new beginning. The storm has done its job. Now it is time to build. Number 7, the revelation of divine timing. Everything you have felt, everything that has overflowed, every tear, every moment of confusion has been leading to revelation. Divine timing is not always comfortable, but it is always perfect. When you prayed for clarity, God did not ignore you. He just needed the right alignment for truth to rise. And now that emotions are spilling over and hearts are being revealed, you are witnessing that divine alignment in motion. Divine timing is not about delay, it is about preparation. It is the rhythm of heaven teaching you patience, because love that comes too early can break under the weight of unhealed hearts, and love that comes too late can wither under disappointment. But when it comes right, on time, it carries grace that cannot be faked. Many of you have been waiting for them to open up, waiting for a sign, waiting for something that proves this connection is real. And now you're seeing emotion overflow and wondering if this is it. Yes, it is a sign. But more than that, it's an invitation to trust the timing, even when the process looks messy. You see, God's plan rarely unfolds neatly. He allows discomfort to bring development. He lets emotions rise so that pride can fall. He uses tension to reveal truth and distance to create clarity. What looks like delay is often protection. What feels like rejection is often redirection. When divine timing arrives, everything that once confused you starts to make sense. The unanswered prayers, the long nights, the tears that made no sense. You begin to see how every moment was positioning you for this season. A season where your spirit is stronger, where your boundaries are clearer, where your love is no longer desperate but discerning. Divine timing teaches you to love without forcing, to trust without demanding, to release without bitterness. It shows you that what is meant for you will recognize you when the time is right, and when it does, you will not have to chase it. It will align effortlessly. Right now, as emotions overflow and hearts are being exposed, you are seeing the evidence of timing. The waiting wasn't wasted. The silence wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God was softening hearts, aligning lessons and shaping you into someone who could hold what you once prayed for. So instead of asking why, now start saying thank you now. Thank you for the timing. Thank you for the growth. Thank you for not giving it to me before I was ready. Because readiness is what sustains, what revelation begins. This is not just their emotional overflow. This is divine orchestration. A moment where everything hidden comes into light, not by chance but by design. The revelation of divine timing reminds you that love has never been random. It has always been written, and you are standing in the part of the story where what was promised begins to manifest. So lift your head. This is not an ending, it is evidence. Evidence that your patience has purpose. That your love has matured, that your spirit has aligned with heaven's timing. This is the moment you've waited for. Now you've come through the overflow, the breaking, the surrender, the rebuilding, and the revelation. Now you can finally breathe. What once felt confusing has become clear. What once hurt now feels like understanding, and you can see how every tear, every prayer, every delay has been leading you here. This is the moment you've waited for, not because everything around you is perfect, but because everything within you is ready. Ready to love without fear, ready to trust divine timing, ready to walk in peace no matter what happens next. The truth is, you were never waiting on them. You were waiting on alignment. You were waiting on the version of yourself who could handle real love with wisdom and grace. You were waiting to see your own strength. And now that you see it, you know the waiting was never wasted. So as you move forward, remember this. Overflow was not chaos. It was confirmation. Breaking was not punishment. It was preparation. Surrender was not weakness, it was strength. Rebuilding was not loss, it was growth, and timing was never delay. It was design. God has been in every detail, even in the silence, even in the distance, even in the moments that made no sense at all. Every emotion that rose to the surface was a message. Every release was a reset. And now peace can finally find you because you are no longer chasing what has already been ordained. If this message spoke to your heart, share in the comments. What part resonated the most? Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs right now. If you felt this word brought clarity and healing, hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss these teachings on love, healing, and divine alignment. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when the next message drops, because every word here is designed to help you walk stronger, softer, and wiser in love. You are growing, you are healing, you are learning that love built on truth will always outlast fear. This is your season to rise. This is your moment to stand in what God has already prepared for you. This is the confirmation you've been waiting for. You are seen, you are loved, you are ready, and this is just the beginning. Amen.